Old, I ruptured my L5 disc working at a fairly physical job.
That was how long ago, roughly?
It was about 8 years ago now.
Okay.
Since then, I had surgery on it, and they wanted me to have further surgeries because things didn't really quite get back to normal, and I just decided it wasn't what I wanted to do because I feel like surgery, while it did help, caused more problems than it fixed. After trying, painkillers and going to a lot of physical therapy, yoga, Pilates, a lot of strength training. While it did help, I never really quite got back to normal. I had a lot of problems.
And you went to the physical therapy and did all of that after the surgery?
After the surgery, yes.
Right, to try to rehabilitate it.
Yeah, I went through an intensive 2-month-long course where I went 5 days a week for about 8 hours a day, and they taught me a lot, which, was definitely quite helpful. It taught me a lot of, body mechanics. But ultimately, it just, there's still a lot of residual effects. I had, a lot of numbness in my legs, goes all the way down, tingling, pains, pins and needles. My walk was always off because, I noticed by the way I would step, it would go numb on me, so I'd have to kind of counteract that, which caused a lot of muscle problems. Over the years, I've gone to a few different chiropractors, and the problem always being is that because my surgery was on my very low back, none of them wanted to touch it. They just felt like it was a liability, or they would cause more problems than they fixed. And honestly, that's the whole reason I went, is because that's where my problem was. My mid back, my upper back, neck. There wasn't any problems there, but it was my low back that I needed help with, and nobody would help me.
Right.
And it wasn't until I came here that I came and met you, on the opinion of a good friend, and I'm like, all right, I'll give it a try. And I really can't put into words how much that first. That first adjustment did. You were willing to, go down to my low back. And I remember talking to you about it, and you're like, well, I figure if there's one reason you would be coming here, it would be your low back. I'm like, yes, that's why I wanted to come. And you gave me one adjustment, and just like that, I felt like a good 80–90% better than I felt over the last 7–8 years. Yeah,
it was amazing. That vertebrae had just been cemented in. It was locked. The facet joints were locked. You probably had a little bit of scar tissue that we sheared loose during that single adjustment.
I couldn't believe how loud it was either. Just, there's the amount of, just the sounds alone were just amazing to hear, and also just the amount of just relaxation I achieved right after that, like I said, it's hard to put into words how much just pain-free I was, but I gotta say, I feel like I'm getting a few of my youth years back. I know I'm a young guy, but having that type of surgery and going through those type of things definitely limits you to what you can do every day.
That was interrupting everything in your life. It was disrupting your sleep and you name it, whatever it is.
Sleep being the biggest one, yes. That's one other thing. That very night, after I came in here for that adjustment, I haven't had a full night's sleep in at least 5–6 years. Right. And that was the first time, went to sleep at 8 o'clock. And, I do wake up early in the morning, but it was the first time where my alarm woke me up at 4:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
And I just couldn't believe it. I was looking around, this can't be right.
It's unfamiliar, right? So they did
I gotta go back to this guy. It's immediately I thought of you. I'm like, wow, my back. It was the one time I woke up, my back didn't hurt. My leg wasn't numb or tingling or had some pain shooting down it.
Right.
And it felt great. And it's just, I couldn't believe that just after all these things that I've tried, that just in one adjustment, it was just like a new man.
Yeah, and in your case, obviously, the vertebrae were very, very stuck, pinching the nerve, irritating the nerve, and you got a full release of all the vertebral joints, and of course, the nerve impingement subsided. Before that, like you were saying, you had tried a very serious regimen of physical therapy, and I presume they were using different modalities on you and stretching and calming down the muscle tension as much as they could.
Like TENS units, stuff like that.
And massage type of techniques.
You actually do massages and body work. While those things were all very helpful, they did bring down some of it. It's just never really quite got to the root of the problem. Yes, I kind of always felt there was a muscular thing. I'm like, all right, if I just stay on a solid workout regimen and watch my body mechanics and strengthen myself, that I'll get back to normal. But I never really quite got to where I needed it to.
Right. And
like I said, it's hard to put into words how much better I really feel. I walk normally now. I sleep normally. I can get back on my mountain bike and run around a lot more. And just obviously, I know I gotta watch what I do. But at the end of the day, it's like night and day. I can feel great every day and know that I'm not gonna have these numbing pains down my legs. I'm sitting here right now and there's no numbness. My leg feels fine. I'm not kicking it around or trying to do something.
Yeah, beautiful. And I thank you on behalf of a lot of other people who will eventually be watching this video. because a lot of people are suffering needlessly, and that a lot of their situations like yours can be helped with the proper care.
They can.
Yeah, yeah, beautiful. Anything else you want to say, Michael, before we sign off here?
Only that I'm very thankful for the work that you've done for me, and
Thanks.
if there's anybody out there that's really, if you're on the fence about whether or not to do this, just give it a try, just once, and I guarantee you'll be a believer as much as I am.
Great, beautiful. Thanks so much.
And thank you.